Hello, and welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thank you very much for spinning that YouTube dial in my direction and joining me as I explore the amazing, incredible, wide world of pens. And yes, there are two black pens rotating in front of you. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video. Well, not really that much different, but I'm going to give away these two pens to someone in the domestic United States because I can afford postage to those people. Sorry for those people overseas, but these pens aren't worth the cost of overseas shipment. But let's explore them. Yes, two black pens, different versions of matte, different versions of texture. They share a fair number of things in common. Pop-off cap, number 5 nib. Let's explore them a little bit more. Ink them up with the same ink and write with those nibs, and then have you figure out which one you would like. Leave me a comment explaining why you like one of the particular pens and why it would be something you would like to have. Stay tuned. More to come. So why do I have these two pens? Well, almost a year ago, Temu wanted me to do a promotional video for them, so I did. They offered me some products, and I ordered them, and these were two. They were very inexpensive, even if I had to pay for them. As you can see, they're both clearly under $5 US. I don't have any links to what they might be selling for now, but these are just very generic pens, but different styles, different design elements. Yes, the cap just pops off both of these. And we'll see a small section. The one that they call titanium has a black nib, and the other one, Black Forest, has a gold tone nib. This one has F for fine on it, and the other one is not marked, but it almost looks like an extra fine. And as you probably gathered, they do post, and they both end up about the same length. The caps are light, so it doesn't really bother it. You know, that's the way they go. So I think we need to ink these up. Yeah, if you take them apart, they're both cartridge converter pens, and they come with converters. As I show the parts of the pen, you'll be able to see that. But there are two different pens. The sections, this one's a little bit, both of these are kind of slippery, even though this one has some texture to it. I really do lean towards a black nib and a black pen, but the gold nib is interesting. Gives you some different looks. So I think it's good to fill up a package when you mail it. In addition to getting one of the black fountain pens, you will also get one of these hypodermic pens. They write fairly well. Certainly a conversation piece if there ever was one. And one of these pens that have a design, oil painting style design on the pen, they will just pick one at random. So you'll get two more writing instruments in addition to the fountain pen. So here we have the two black pens, partially disassembled, well, as much as I'm going to do for this part of the video. So with this Black Forest Type 1, the nib and feed did not pull out. They don't unscrew. It's not a nib assembly. You know, I flushed these as usual with my soapy water solution and rinsed it with clear water. Both of these converters have a spring, so I'll try to take them apart, and we'll discuss how easy that was a little bit later. But with the black pen, the nib and feed pulled out, which I just enjoy doing to make certain that everything's clean. So when I ink it up, I'm assured I'll get the best flow possible. And this converter has a little insert in it that I like to keep it sealed up well. This one just has a reduced section at the end. Let's take a look inside the caps and see if there's any differences. So it is daylight, so we don't have a complete dark environment, but I think it's dark enough to let the LED do its thing. Certainly different patterns on these two pens. So you look inside this one, we'll just see a little bit of a plastic liner there. Nothing to seal against the section. Pretty plain, what you would expect from a low-end and low-cost pen. And if we look at this, we'll see a similar situation. That legend there is really not kind of big enough to seal as you'd like it to seal. Now these are both push-on, pull-off caps. So the LED doesn't reveal much because there's not much to reveal. So as I thought, this metal collar that holds in the piston into the converter pulls off. So that came off of the Black Forest model, but this one I couldn't pull it off. It turns, requires more strength than I'm able to do with my hands and using a rubber gripper. But this one I'll lubricate everything and put the spring in my bag of springs. Yes, I've removed a lot of springs out of converters, and I've saved every one, and you may ask why, and because I collect, I save. And who knows, someone may want one of my pens and they will want this spring agitator back in the converter, so I keep them. You never know. And there's some of those balls that also are in converters that I don't find any use for. So you may ask, Chris, why do you get rid of those springs? Well, one, it restricts the flow of the piston. So here, without the spring, when you pull up the piston, you get a better fill. Because if it had a spring, the piston would stop there, and there would be more air to draw up when you did that. Obviously, when you do this up and down 3 times, when you first fill, or any fill, you get a more fuller fill, spring or not. And the other thing is, I've never found the springs to break surface tension of the ink, so you can still get ink just stuck at the top of the converter. So therefore, the spring doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. And then thirdly, when you need to clean it, when you want to change inks, ink collects in that spring and makes cleaning out the converter a challenge and a lot more difficult than it should be. Where here, a couple squirts with a syringe in there, and you get it totally clean. Springs be gone. So both of these pens have the same Pilot Blue back ink. One of the interesting things is the titanium pen is a wetter nib, so therefore the ink is darker. As you can see from the smears here, the difference in the color and the density of the color. Both of these lay down a generous fine line. The titanium pen has just a little bit more feedback, but nothing that would bother me. And the Black Forest is just smooth for a fine nib. So I think either of these would be excellent writing instruments. They perform well. They lay down nice ink. They feel good on the paper. What else do you need? So you may ask, how will I select the winner? Well, it'll be my random selection. That's all I can say. So if you're interested, put that video in, pick your pen, and tell me why. And if it's your first pen, that would be great. Tell me that too. So if you've enjoyed this look at 2 pens, 2 black stealthy pens, those in the Black Pen Society might find them useful. So this one we're calling the Black Forest one, just so you can have another look at it. So when reviewing the video, I noticed there was some scuzzy stuff here at the end of the barrel. I don't know what it came from, but it was just easy to wipe off. The coatings on both of these pens is done very, very well. And this we're calling the titanium pen. So when you make your comments about which one you like, it's either the Black Forest one or the titanium one. The other thing I didn't really talk about is this section does have some texture on the side, which coincides to where your fingers would be holding the pen. I don't necessarily feel that texture adds much to it, but you may have seen it and say, did Chris notice that? And yes, I did, when I was watching the video I recorded. So we've reached a conclusion of this video. And as we look at a previous review, yes, I hope this video finds everyone safe, healthy, and happy. Hopefully enjoying your pens, maybe enjoying getting a new one to go with your other pens or your first pen. And that would be interesting. If it is your first pen, please mention that in the comments. So with that, we've reached the end of this video, and we will say bye. Don't forget to comment.